Former U.S. Attorney John McKay, thanks so much for being here tonight. So, to you, from a national security perspective, what is the significance of the release of this memo? And you've raised a lot of concerns.
I have. This is really unprecedented that a part of the United States Congress, which is used to receiving highly classified information, would take some of that classified information and release it publicly. To my knowledge, that has never happened at a time in which the intelligence was new. In other words, it was still relevant to ongoing intelligence investigations. So that part is very, very concerning to me. The thing that we look for in this kind of a breach, if it is a breach, is the disclosure of sources and methods. How did the United States government get access to this information, and who provided the information to them? When it's released, it potentially discloses what that source or what the methodology was. And it puts at risk, if it's a person, for example, it puts them at risk for their safety and their lives.
From your assessment of this memo, did that happen? Were methods released?
You know, reading the memo, it seems to be very non-controversial in a way. That doesn't mean it is non-controversial, and I'm quite certain that there are Russian agents today carefully reviewing that document to see if they can get some clue as to how the United States gathered information that's being summarized there. But you know, even if there isn't any source or method information that would be disclosed in the memo, the fact that House members of one party would vote to release classified material for political purposes, that is unprecedented. And I think sets a really dangerous precedent for the intelligence community, that if it shares important intelligence with either the House or the Senate, it might be disclosed publicly. That's among the worst risks that anyone in the intelligence community could ever imagine would occur. That's why today is a really unprecedented and I think unhappy day to the U.S. intelligence community.
And lastly, important to note that this was against the advice of FBI Director Christopher Wray, who himself is an appointee of President Trump. So in your mind, is this going to serve to escalate tension between the White House and the FBI, and what does that mean?
Well, I mean, the president has obviously had some very unkind things to say about the FBI and FBI leadership, even though he appointed the FBI director, so I find that a little puzzling. More than Chris Wray, who's the FBI director, is his boss within the Justice Department, Rod Rosenstein, who's the Deputy Attorney General, who appears to have fallen into disfavor with the president. He was appointed by the president, by President Trump, to his position. And so much of this is going to fall on Rod Rosenstein, who I believe accompanied Director Wray into the White House earlier this week to urge the president not to declassify this document because of the precedent issues that I've been discussing.
All right, so we will continue to watch developments in the days to come. Former U.S. Attorney John McKay, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.